Hi guys, welcome to The Young and the Tasteless. I am your host, Kathleen Wallach. I am thrilled you're joining me today. So I wanted to talk about the catch-22 of trying to be in the creative sphere, writing, acting, nowadays. I feel like it's probably not even just nowadays, it's probably been always. But when you're starting out and you're, trying to get auditions, and you're trying to write, and you're trying to, sort of get this creative life together, there is always a huge roadblock in the way, which always seems to be money. Maybe not always, there's other things too, but I feel like that's sort of the main one is, financial stability. Because we all know, if you're not from money, and if you're not from an acting family, or you don't have connections, you're struggling to get yourself out there, to get your foot in the door, to get your stuff to the right person, to audition for the right person. And the thing is, when you're trying to do that, you're also trying to make ends meet, and you're trying to live a life, and you're trying to afford to audition and because the truth of the matter is, when you're first starting out, if you don't live in New York City, or if you don't live in LA, or if you don't live in one of the major sort of metropolises of entertainment, you have to pay to get to these auditions, which means you have to pay for the train, pay for gas to drive there. You have to get there. And so there's the benefit of living in New York City, or the benefit of living in LA, or one of the places that's sort of up and coming with the entertainment industry is, that you're in the center of it. But if you're not in the center of it, if you're 95% of the people who don't live in these places, it almost seems impossible because, if you're a writer, email, basically you don't really have to be any of these places if you're writing, but if you're acting, and a lot of these people, if they don't want to do a video audition, if they don't want to do a Skype audition, it's almost like you have to decide, do I want to eat this week, or do I want to pay for the train ticket to New York City? So I wanted to sort of just talk about how stressful that can be, and how stressful it is to be an up-and-coming actor, or to be someone who just wants to do that, and who, is just from a normal sort of run-of-the-mill middle-class family, no connections. It sucks, doesn't it? It occurred to me, because, when all your bills are due, and that point of the month, you're sort of like, it occurs to you like, oh, why did I go on that audition? Or why did I do this? I could have used that to pay for, and you have to sort of balance this stuff in your head. You have to balance student loan payments, and you have to balance credit card payments, and all this stuff. And also okay, well, I really want to go to this audition. Okay, but that's going to cost money, and it sucks. It's so stressful, and it's so, because also, and we talked about scheduling for a creative lifestyle a few weeks ago. If you have a day job, or if you have, these little, because usually, chances are if you're a lawyer or a doctor, you're probably, too busy to go, maybe you are a lawyer or a doctor and you want to act and you want to, squeeze in time to do this stuff. But usually people who are up and coming, we're usually working day jobs. We're usually working, like the cliche of being a waiter when you're, trying to break into the business, or we're usually working these jobs that just make ends meet enough to support a creative lifestyle. And it sucks because it's just so frustrating. It's literally a catch-22. You want to live this creative life and you want to do this, but you also need money to do it, and you need money to live because, not alone here, if you're in your 20s, your mid-20s, you're out of college, chances are you owe a ton in student loans, and it is the worst feeling. It's a crushing feeling to be so much in debt. So what are ways that you can support your acting habit or your creative lifestyle habit? I have to tell you this. I'm on this, it's an app, it's called Poshmark, and it is great. Ladies, if you have, I think it's for Android and iPhone, that they've covered both markets. Download Poshmark and start selling your old clothes. It is the easiest app to use in the world. Basically, it's like an Etsy, but for which is also a great idea. We're going to talk about Etsy in a second. Poshmark is an app where you basically, it's like a little consignment shop, your own consignment shop, You take pictures of your old clothes, you put them up for sale, clothes that are nice and you don't wear anymore, put them up for sale, and then, people buy them. I've made, okay money on it, enough to squeak by, along with my day job, and which obviously does not pay that much. And it's a great supplement for your income. Don't expect to be a millionaire, but it's a great supplement for your income. If you have old clothes, old purses, any kind of clothing that's nice, you don't wear anymore, and you want to get rid of, you don't really want to have to, I mean, if you want to donate it, that's very great and altruistic, but if you need the extra cash, I highly recommend Poshmark, Poshmark. Download the app and get selling. It's great. And also, if you want to buy clothes on it, it's great. They're obviously cheaper, and they're nice stuff. People have nice stuff on there. But if you're looking to make a few extra dollars, I highly, highly recommend Poshmark. Can't recommend it enough. Etsy, if you're creative as well, if you're creative in the crafting world as well as like the acting and writing world, and you can make things that people would want, go on Etsy.com and sell your stuff. People have actually made livings on Etsy.com. Everyone's heard of it. It's sort of this global e-commerce great site, Etsy. You know, if you're creative and you want to make some cash off of it, I highly recommend Etsy. That's worldwide, as Poshmark is only in the US. So make sure you do your shipping, you know, accordingly. All right. I once actually lost money sending something to England on Etsy because I didn't calculate that the shipping would be $90. So be careful. That's a tip. But yeah, it occurred to me because I was watching the Tonys and I was watching, you know, these actors all having this great time, this glitz and glam of the working actor, and it's like, you know, of the theater, you know, actors, and it's just, you want it so bad, and it makes you just want this so bad. You want to make a living being an actor, and you want to just do that, or make a living being a writer, make a living basically doing what you want and following your dream. But it's just, we live in this world where it's like, you have got to struggle that much more. I mean, you know, I have friends that are, you know, lawyers and doctors and have like these like careers, and they had to go through so much to get there, and with the testing and like, you know, the bar exam and all the studying they had to do, and they finally made it and got into their field. But, you know, and actors and writers, don't feel like you're not struggling too. I mean, it's, you know, just consider when you're, you know, struggling and getting the rejections and working super hard. That's like our version of like studying for the bar exam, or that's like our version of, I mean, I know it sounds kind of like pretentious, but it's like, that's like our version of the struggle and the study to get to where we want to get and to be where we want to be. So, you know, if you know, you're around those people who, you know, they have like these glorious houses, and they, you know, and they're making all this money because they went to school and they, you know, accomplished their dream, don't feel bad, because you're just going for yours, you know, and everyone's different. And it's hard, because a lot of the feelings that go through your head when you're sort of trying to do this and you're in your, you know, mid-20s, you know, above, it's like, what am I doing? Am I wasting my time? Am I, you know, should I, you know, be doing something else so I could like get my own house, or I can, you know, start like being a grown up, you know? And I mean, it sucks. And you know, I just want you guys to know that you're not alone. I'm right there with you. You know, I mean, when you're struggling, you're trying to get your voice heard, and you're trying to get your stuff out there, you know, I've been there, I am still there. And it's just, you have to sort of put yourself in this better mindset of, well, okay, I'll struggle through it, because if you believe in it enough, it'll happen, you know? And if you query enough people, it'll happen for you. And if you audition enough, you know, if you can afford it, if you could, I mean, I know that's another thing too, is you want to be able to audition all the time, but obviously if you don't live in Manhattan or you don't live in LA, it's hard to find auditions, you know, say in like middle America, or, you know, even, you know, in the other states like that don't have like this like booming entertainment, you know, industry. It's sort of hard because you really want to go on as many as possible. So I guess the solution to that would be try to have little ways to supplement your income, you know, in addition to your day job. Poshmark, you know, just selling stuff, going on Etsy, making something to sell, you know, don't, you know, invest too much money into it, obviously. That would be, you know, counterproductive. But, you know, just try to find creative ways to, you know, save your, like, pick up the change from around the house, you know, go to a Coinstar, just like, you know, ways to save money, ways to sort, you know, just, you have to, you know, buy off-brand stuff, you know, so you do, because it's like, you're saving, you have to save all this money, you have to be very frugal to make your dream happen, and then when you do, it'll be that much more worth it. But, so, what I want you guys to take away from today is, I know what you're going through with the stress of, you know, not being able to afford to always audition or do what you want, and, you know, scrimping and saving, you know, if you're not, you know, already set up, and if you're not already sort of, you know, financially stable, and you're just really I guess, a starving artist, you know. You just have to find these creative ways to afford to be what you want to be, and don't ever let it get to you. And you know, this is like the true test. You know, the true test of people who are going to succeed in this business and people who aren't is if you're willing to stick to it, you know, despite the fact that you don't have the extra money to go on vacation or the extra money to do, you know, all the frivolous stuff you wish you could. You know, you have to just, you know, that's how it shows how dedicated you really are to making a living in this, you know, sphere. And I know, and you'll always hear people say like, oh, only 2% of, you know, people who are, you know, acting really make a living acting, but don't even listen to the numbers. Don't listen to any of it. Just, if you want it enough, it's gonna happen. And if you're willing to sacrifice, it'll happen. So, you know, sell stuff, don't sell drugs. I'm not saying that. Don't, jewelry, stuff. Just, you know, if you could just find like creative ways to make your, you know, dream come true. And, you know, that are legal. Okay, don't sell your body either. But yeah, you do have to, I mean, if it helps, you know, look at all the, you know, the galleries on, you know, the internet that have like, you know, actors who were, you know, homeless or broke before they made it big. You know, that always encourages me. Like, oh, this guy lived in a car before he got Avatar. But yeah, so just stick to it, you know, do everything you can to make your dream happen. Again, that's legal. And just make sure that you don't let, you know, the noise of, you know, other people's, you know, success or other people's, you know, negativity about, you know, just being a ne'er-do-well, you know, creative person, you know, the stigma that can kind of come with being like, you know, that way. Don't let it get to you, and just do it, because you guys are awesome, and if you really want it, you're gonna get it. So don't listen to numbers. Get on Poshmark. Get on Etsy. Try to make it a little extra cash if you need to, you know, get there. All right, guys. So I hope it helped today. I want you guys to have a great week, and I will see you next time.